donuts.
Okay, yeah, because like the last session, I think is the first session we've had where the actual time lasted as long as the actual time in the game. So it was about 3 hours, and that's about as many hours as you spent with the band and the governor and the traveler Danville, and then going to see the professor and the shadow demons and Danville again. So you guys are, I would say it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and you guys are back at the Hot Springs Resort, relaxing.
Oh, that's right. All that stuff took place super early.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd say we're definitely going to I'm going to need a short rest because I took a bit of damage there.
I thought we were going to take a long rest after the fight.
I mean,
with the devil.
Normally you can only benefit from one long rest per 24 hours. And we just did a long rest, so it was only like 3 hours ago. We woke up at like the ass crack of dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I slept in that bouncy castle, so I should be fine.
So what was the last thing we did? We left the bouncy castle?
No, we left we were in the professor's office to get the wand identified. And then Undead showed up.
Yep. And Rothgar broke the wand. And then you dealt with Hellion and had your Ghostbusters thing. And Hellion said that he would leave and speak with Asmodeus.
Oh, right, Asmodeus.
And then and then the last thing was the gnome in his pajamas who came and talked to Soul Wrench, saying that at some point he would like him to come by and test the bouncy castle that he has repaired.
Yeah, because if I can't use it, no one can.
And you guys all got that flyer I sent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with the map?
Yes.
Yes.
So, and your lunch date with Mantro is probably about 1 o'clock.
Oh yeah, we still have a lunch date that.
And the ceremonies don't kick off till like 5.
Right, and he's the guy who is going to be the guest of honor on the train, so we were going to try to get passage on the train, I think.
Yep. Him and his band are pretty much exclusively, excuse me, riding the train to Cavil City because he helped negotiate the peace treaty in the Gith War. And that was about 70 years ago. And he's been kind of recluse ever since. And, I mean, you hear about him in Lindbergh, which is the Elven capital, but he doesn't travel like he used to. He's kind of laid low for as much as Mantro can lay low. So you guys going to rest up here and take a long rest, I get, or short rest?
A short rest at least.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got some HP back. I used some hit dies, so I mean, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I would vote for just lounging around the resort for the rest until tomorrow, unless Mantro wants to go to dinner tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we got our meeting with them in just a couple of hours or something like that.
Yeah, I would say like your meeting with at least Theria's lunch with him will be at like 1, so that will be at least 4 hours from now.
I guess it is up to him, or up to Theria, if she wants to bring anybody along. I think I'm great.
Wingman.
I'm great company.
Absolutely. getting the band back together.
Not the hat.
Yeah, don't wear the hat. Because he'll know where it's from.
I'm setting an example. I'm starting a.
So you're like the band's #1 fan?
No, it's definitely going to be defaced this entire time. While drinking, I'm gonna fill it because I don't like the blue. I'm gonna change the blue.
All right, so are we taking a short rest?
Okay, yeah, we'll say you have a short rest.
So I can use hit dice, right, to get my,
You just go back to full. You get hit right back. Or short rest or long rest? Short rest you can spend.
so we only have a couple of hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, spend hit dice.
So, hold on. So would I take a couple of hit dice and then roll the d10 and take back whatever I
Yeah, so
roll?
it's a D10 plus your Constitution modifier. You can use as many as you want, but each time you get to add the Constitution modifier.
Okay. 9, 3, and 6. 18.
I don't remember how much HP I had at the end. I know I took some damage though, so I just said 3 hit dice plus my what is that? That's wind ability.
You didn't take a ton of damage because it was all fire and your resistance. And
Yeah, so I was only like 20 hit points down. Plus I had some temp HP.
All right, so we're going to meet Mantro, right?
Yeah, it's about 12:45. So you have 15 minutes before your lunch date with Mantro.
Where is it?
I'm putting on my finest dingy. Tucked and drape.
You guys are getting ready, and there's a knock on the door. We got good sound effects. And it is a gnome. He's from the restaurant, and he says that Mantro would like to see you. He has the restaurant prepared if you would wish to join him for lunch.
Excellent. Show us the way.
and bring me an ale.
So who is going?
Yeah, I'm very good, right?
Yeah, we'll go.
I'm not going to turn down a free meal.
Yeah.
I don't go anywhere without my posse.
Okay.
So the rest of us do well alone.
Okay, yeah, you can tell that the gnome from the restaurant he kind of looks and he sees Theria walking, and then he looks back and then he sees Rothgar, and then he looks again and he notices the whole group is walking, and he's kind of surprised at this point and just kind of shrugs. He walks over, he goes through, a couple lobby areas, and you guys go to this restaurant that you have probably stumbled into or at some point in the middle of the night, or had a couple drinks, or maybe you ate there. But usually there's a lot of people in here, but it is empty. There is one table set up for 2 people.
You see someone on the table?
So I'll immediately pull over another table and line it up and start pulling over chairs.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it as loud and obnoxiously as possible?
There's no one to disturb, so I'll just do it efficiently.
And then the gnome, I guess there'll be more dining. So he scurries back into the kitchen to get some more plates.
Before he wanders up, I press a silver piece into his hand.
A gold or a copper?
Silver.
There are no silver pieces.
No, God damn it.
I'm one of those DMs.
Fine, a gold, fine.
Or that rare silver, I don't know. Okay.
I only have 3,300 gold left.
And he nods and thanks you. Double times it. So they are setting up some plates for the rest of you to sit down. What's everybody's passive perception?
And all that.
14.
16.
I don't have it written down. How do I?
11.
10 plus your 10 plus whatever your perception score is.
10 plus my perception? Does that include my proficiency if I'm proficient in perception?
Yeah.
Right, so 17.
Okay. So everything is set up. The lights are dim. The door opens, and in his finest, looks like he's wearing something different than you saw him this morning. It looks like he's got like a smoking jacket and some pants and shoes. Like this is his lunchtime attire for a lunch date. And he kind of looks in and takes one look at you, and then sees the rest of you. And then
I bow.
and then the music starts playing. You guys don't notice people in there, but the music is playing at this point. Some very it's not Barry White, but in that vein.
Good Lord.
So Mantro comes walking in, and
Wait, Rafa, are you wearing a hat?
Yeah, I basically found something to color in the blue, and I made it like red. But it's the same hat. It's just poorly colored in.
But hearing the Barry White style music, I'll turn to Theory and say, I'm sorry, was this a date?
No.
Are you sure? Listen to the music. Look, if you need us to clear out so you can make a pass after it, just like give us a wink.
If you move towards the door, I'm going to put an arrow into your foot.
Solrenz kind of looks around and is like, I don't understand what's happening here, but I'm suddenly a little uncomfortable.
I don't know. Elves are weird, man.
Mantro is he's keeping his composure, but he realizes that now he sees the whole group there, and he walks over to you, Theria, and pulls your seat out so you can sit down, as a elven gentleman would.
All right. Then I sit. Thank you.
And he thanks you for joining me for lunch, and I see that you have brought your. What do we call what is this? Your crew, your group, your
My friends.
traveling band? Friends, okay, yes. And then he looks at the rest of you and says, friends, you can have a seat.
Well, I'm already sitting.
And when he looks over there, he looks at your hat, and he kind of stares at it as he sits down.
I just drink.
So I'm assuming we all have glasses. So I just raise it and say, to our host.
Yes, let me get... and the waiter comes over and whispers in his ear. He's like, yes, bring it out. And he brings out a bottle of wine. And it has, some cool designs on it. And it has a picture of a minotaur. And he says, this is Trisan's Blood. It is a very rare wine that is bottled in Tugnath. And he shows you the label, and it says, made with the finest minotaurs. And he said it's 100 gold pieces a bottle.
He tells us,
What?
he tells us that?
Yes.
I don't normally drink wine, but I'll try it.
Sure.
And
I'm not paying.
Does that mean made of minotaurs or made by minotaurs?
and he leans over and says, "Well, that's what it says on the label. It is made with minotaurs."
That's the only reason why I'm giving it a shot.
So
What
he.
is mine?
What is that?
Sol Wrench just pounds his fist on the table. Is like, what is it?
So the waiter goes around and he's pouring each of you a glass of this Tristan's blood. It's called.
Who's Trisan?
And Mantra says Trisan was he was the ruler of a city called Waverskull, and Oltar ended up killing him. He was a king of the Minotaur Empire, and they were known for their wine. They had a lot of.
Was Trisan enemy of yours? I've drinking blood of many enemies, but not of someone else's.
It is just. It's not real blood.
What? Not real blood.
So, since I'm a talented brewer, I use my sort of snootiest wine tasting skills.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's as good as any wine you've ever tasted. It's as good as it's every bit worth 100 minted gold pieces.
This is spectacular. Thank you for sharing this.
Oh, you are quite welcome.
Hopefully the meal was up to the same quality.
I take a big chug straight from the bottle.
The waiter wrestles it from you. You want to roll a grapple?
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to drink all of it, just like...
Yeah, but as soon as you grab the bottle...
Oh, good luck to the waiter. 20.
Yeah,
6.
his little gnomish hands slip right off of it, and you get a good quick swig.
I clear my throat.
You want some?
Thank you. And I
Who's
take
next?
the bottle back and I give it back to the waiter.
And Mantro looks at you, Rothgar, and says, "Does it meet your approval, dwarf?"
It's a bit fruity, but... I like more bitterness.
So, may I ask what all of you are doing here in Kornberg?
Well, we're looking to travel into the northern lands.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Now, are you going to be taking your pegacorn with you and your ants?
If we can. I would love to.
We're charged for those things.
And where does one acquire a pegacorn?
This one we liberated from a rather confused creature, and it seemed happy to come with us.
Very much.
Belleroth is the pegacorn's name.
Very interesting.
Quite the companion.
Yes. So you seek to go to the Northern Lands. What possesses you to go there?
We've got some things to attend to. We are adventurers from the Blackheart Adventurers Guild. You may have heard of us.
Blackheart Adventuring Company in Clinkville.
That's us. And I show him one of the little action figures.
And he looks and examines it, and he's like, "It doesn't quite capture your beauty, but it works."
Too kind. So we know that you will be leading a procession into the Northlands, and we were wondering if there was some way we could accompany you.
Well, I'm just taking a ride on the train across to Cavill City for the ceremonies. It is the 75th anniversary of the bridge opening, and
We heard it's quite an honor for you to be chosen for that. I know you've got some rather large effect on the region here, and people look up to you. So we'd love to come across and view the ceremony with you.
well, I very much appreciate it. I guess I would wonder why you would want to travel with me when you could probably take the train yourself. Because I think you are of much greater importance than I am. I mean, I've heard of exploits of your group here, of your friends. It's not every day that the spinning top ship lands and important people come and visit you, and you go and see the governor when you arrive.
Sometimes it's best if we travel with less fanfare. So with you traveling with us, you will draw a lot of the attention, and maybe we'll be able to move a little bit easier.
So, may I ask? You met with the governor too today,
We did.
and how was he?
His bounty castle.
Yes.
We
Yes,
had a lot
the
of fun
bouncy.
in his bouncy castle.
Yes. And you met with someone very important, I would say, from Hijito?
You're pretty well informed.
Well, yes.
This is exactly what we heard about you. That you were very well connected to the people.
Well, yes. I like to find out what's going on. I like to know who my guests are who come and visit. And I'm really curious about what you're doing in the Northern Lands. I can't imagine just going on some mundane adventure. I have to believe that it's something of great importance.
I think Mitch can explain it pretty good.
Mitch.
Right, Mitch? Right, Mitch? And then I poke Sully.
Sully, did we lose you?
He didn't get enough sleep.
Or his mic isn't working?
He's asleep at the... Oh.
His mic isn't e-walking. What?
We lost him completely. I think he's probably logging back in.
Yeah.
To anybody who happens to be watching this video, we have a chat, and that's where the e-walking came from.
So that not be the ones with technical difficulties.
Oh, does the video not record the chat?
No.
No, I'm sure that's some feature that I'm not going to attempt right now.
Can anyone hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
There we go.
Yes, I
So
believe Mitch can
I
explain.
said specifically, if only Mitch were here. Mitch could explain this whole thing. Mitch is our butler, you see. We can't be bothered to explain on our own. But Theria didn't want to invite our butler to, like, your fancy lunch.
A butler.
Just all of us.
Are you sure that's not the reporter that's following you around?
No, that's Danville who's the reporter.
Is he still following us around
He's trying
Like-
to.
after the incident at the academy?
He survived.
Yeah, he lived.
And he felt more alive than ever.
That's right. He I think he's out of the burn unit right now from at the hospital.
We need to. How soon can we leave? And can we leave before he reaches us?
Mantra says that the train will be boarding at 4 o'clock.
Today?
Oh, wait. No, probably sooner than that. Probably. No. At 2:30, the train will be boarding for our passage across.
Our passage. Does that mean that you'll bring us with you?
Of course I will. I mean, I'm going to. Of course I would take you on the train. I mean, you are famous explorers from what I've been told and heard and read about. And I'm surprised that you haven't bumped me to take the train yourself.
If we've got some downtime on the trip, we can regale you with some of our tales of our previous adventures.
Can I roll an insight on this guy?
You sure can. What are you trying to insight?
I'm just to see if he's just like bullshitting us at all.
It's clearly flattering us.
Yeah.
Look, this was clearly a date. We invited ourselves to.
I got a 12. I don't know.
I mean, he doesn't see. I mean, he's definitely laying it on smooth, but at least he thinks he is. And
Where
One
is?
of one of the waiters comes over and starts taking your food orders. Basically, it's either fish or chicken.
Yes.
He says fish or chicken.
Yes.
To what?
Yes. Yes to both. Just bring it all out.
And he just looks over at Mantro. Mantro says, "That's fine. Fish and chicken. That's fine." Okay, one fish, one chicken.
And the strongest alcohol you have.
And I'd like a bottle of that Minotaur wine, but without the dwarf backwash in it.
Dude, don't you know? My backwash is pure alcohol. It's probably better than that stuff.
The waiter just kind of looks at Mantro, and Mantro just kind of shakes his head like, no.
I asked the waiter if there's a vegetarian option. If there's any seasonal vegetables for the region.
Yes, we have some beets and potatoes.
Okay. I'd prefer that if it's possible. I'm on sort of a meat fast in service to my deity at the moment.
And Mantro looks generally interested. He says, "I was not aware of this."
It's not something that I usually discuss in public with a lot of friends.
Well, thank you for sharing. I will make a note of it.
Yeah, how long are you going to be doing that anyway?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Are you asking me that as in character?
Yeah, yeah.
It's I'm only just now sort of really understanding the powers that I have that are coming from my deity. So as part of that communion with them, I'm sort of sticking with this, but I'm not sure how long it'll last.
And what deity may I ask?
It's not one that's known in these lands. Maybe if we become better friends, I'll let you. I'll tell you.
Charming and mysterious.
I just look at Sully. Ooh.
And I take it you are bringing your mounts with you?
If we could maybe clear half a car, we could stick them in there.
There is a cargo part of the train that I will make sure that they accommodate your mounts.
Excellent.
Delightful.
Thank you.
At
So
one
where
point,
is the ceremony on the other side?
what?
Where is the ceremony on the other side?
It's right near the Watchtower Inn.
So it's just right where the train ends in Labyrinth on the other side?
Um,
What is it? Does it say Labyrinth?
oh, you're okay. Yeah, we're looking at the map.
Yeah.
You see the little line that says Cavil City? Right on the edge of the abyss. That's
Oh, okay.
that's where the ceremony is. But there is a train that goes from Cavil City to the Labyrinth.
Oh, I got you.
We're in Cornbrook right now.
Yep. So at some point during when you're eating, there's a knock at the door of the restaurant, and one of the gnomes goes over there, the wait staff, and you can hear a discussion, and he closes the door, and he comes over and whispers something to Mantro, and Mantro says, well, certainly not. And the gnome scurries back over, and there's more discussion at the door, and they close the door, and now they're standing in front of it.
Who's standing in front of it? Sorry?
The gnomes have kind of like, before they were kind of like standing near the door, now they're standing like blocking it.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
This chicken is good.
Wait, so describe this again. So they came in, or they were part of the wait staff?
Part of the wait staff. So think of, you're in a restaurant. There are lots of tables and stuff, but there's nobody else there except you guys, and you pulled another table up to, which was supposed to be your lunch.
Right.
So there's some of the wait staff is around, and there is some like at the entrance to the restaurant, like just kind of standing around, like to hold the door when you leave. So there's a knocking at the door, and you hear a discussion. Somebody is at the door, and then they come over and say, speak to Mantro. Mantro says, well, certainly not. And that's when one of the wait staff, that's when he goes back to the door and he says, there's more discussion. They close the door, and instead of kind of like lounging near the door, now they've stepped like in front of it, like they're blocking it.
Facing the door or facing us?
Facing you guys.
Okay.
They're back to the door.
Does it seem like somebody's still trying to get in, or?
No.
So I asked Mantro, what was that about?
Oh, nothing. I just don't dine with press.
Press
Oh.
what?
Our newspaper buddy's outside.
Probably.
Yes, he is friends of yours?
Sort of.
We've met him.
We picked him up sort of as like a stray, like you would pick up on the side of the trail. They might walk along with you for a ways before they end up getting eaten.
Hmm. Yes, my grandfather told many stories of individuals just like that. Well, be very leery of press. They are very dangerous.
Good advice. So tell us about your grandfather. Was he an adventurer?
Why, yes, he was one of the most famous adventurers ever.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was.
What was his name?
Mantro. Hence why I am Mantra the Third.
Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I heard
Well-
that. I just don't remember.
Well, you've been drinking.
Yeah,
Blood is alcohol.
that's my default state.
If you think he's mad now, see him when he's not drunk.
Yeah, dropping
Okay.
axes, attacking my friends.
So this lunch lasts about an hour. You're served some kind of lemon cake dessert. Rothgar, I'm sure you managed to get like all the desserts that they had. The strawberry and the rhubarb desserts too.
I
And
also
pies.
Mantro a sort of heavy, dark, sort of sweet beer that I crafted as a dessert beer.
Oh, and he takes it from you and handles it very delicate, like he's handling a piece of glass.
I'll
And he-
top off the film.
Oh, are we drinking now?
Sure. And I open one for myself.
Okay. Cheers.
I call across the table. Hey, share the wealth.
And I slide one down. I seem to have a giant bag of holding that just says
Yes. Yep. So
Right.
yes, he
I am constantly impressed by the all the beers that you pull out. But I have a replenishing supply myself, so it's like
yes, he says he enjoys it. He thanks you very much. Thank you for joining us. To the rest of you, and he says that yes, at 2:30, if you would make your way to the station, and we will start to get on board the train and make our way to Cavill City. And as he stands up, the music starts playing, and and the doors open, and they lead you guys out.
All right. So we got passage and a meal. How much time do we have before 2:30?
That was probably about an hour, so you've got about a half an hour.
Does anybody want to do anything before we get on the train?
I'm good.
I need to test that bouncy cancel.
I couldn't hear you.
I need to test out that bouncy cancel.
All right.
I'll just watch as I drink.
I'm gonna ask one of the gnome waiters before we leave to give me the name of a bar that's like the exact opposite end of the city as wherever the train leaves from.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go find Danville.
Yeah, he's not too hard to find. As soon as you guys come out of the restaurant and you go about 20 feet, he's sitting there leaning up against the wall. He's wearing a cloak that says hospital on it. And he's got a little wristband, and he's like, "Oh man, I tried to get in there. The damn gnomes wouldn't let me in."
Danville, thank God you're here. Like, look, we need your help.
Oh, I am listening. What do you need? What is it?
An hour from now, we're going to be meeting with some underworld figure, and then I'll name the bar.
Okay.
Now, we're not going to be able to, write down notes or anything when we meet with him, but I want you to take a table in the far back and just sit there, maybe get a drink for yourself, and I'll give him like 5 copper. And then, just pretend like you don't know us. We'll make sure we sit near you, and you take copious notes of whatever you overhear.
Okay.
We'll be there. We'll be there in like an hour, but we need you there like in place when we get there. So leave now.
Okay. What? Okay. Do I need a weapon or anything? Do I need like a dagger or something, or just
You should just be taking notes.
okay?
And then,
Taking notes.
Yeah, and then leave after we leave so that it looks like we're not together. Meet back
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like a good plan. I'll be there. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, just give me the sign, like if something goes down, and I'm in it. I'll jump right into it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So he takes off and stops the nearest gnome to see the place that he needs to go.
Remind me never to get on your bad side, sorry.
Yeah, you go to a place. You tell him there's a place called Beckbar's Black Boot,
Good.
and it is in the far corner of the city.
I love that name.
It is not very popular.
That's like named it her, one of the evil children of the gods. So
Yes.
that's not the best sign for poor Danville.
No. And considering how much Beckbar is hated and this bar is still open with his name on it, it's not good.
If I have enough time, I'm going to get some hay for fill her out for the ride.
Okay. All right.
Well, Wrench, you going to go bounce the bouncy castle?
Oh yeah.
Give me a percentage roll, Soul Wrench.
Excellent. It's taking a very long time for this roll to load.
No, that's
75.
Looks like 75.
yeah. You head over to the governor's mansion. Immediately escorted back into that room that he was in. He is not in there. Most of the staff at this point is asleep, so it's very. It seems like this would normally be like the middle of the night because it's so empty. But you jump on the bouncy castle. That one gnome is there, still in his pajamas, and you jump on it and bounce, and he jumps for joy because it worked.
Well done, no. I must be off now.
You got a couple more minutes. Keep going.
Well, Rothgar, if you insist.
And he says, he looks at you, Rothgar, he says, why don't you jump on there too?
And spill my drink? I don't think so.
I'll hold it for you.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Don't you know that's how you get roofied?
I don't think those would work on me.
I wanted to see Rothgar go flying as Soul Wrench jumps on the other side.
I don't know. I'm tempted to have Rothgar make a wisdom save against the bouncy castle.
A wisdom save.
He has drank
Yeah,
a lot today.
because it's tough to resist the bouncy castle.
19.
Yeah, you managed to do it. That is not tempting to you. You're like,
Yeah.
not really impressed.
Even Soul Wrench is shocked by the lack of heart and spirit within Rothgar. And a bouncy can't sleep nothing.
I just feel. I don't know if anybody else has Monkey Joe's near them. It's like a place with bouncy castles. And yeah, it's just all the parents just sitting around, just like because they can't get in.
Excuse me, everybody. I have to go and take care of a millipede.
Uh-oh.
A millipede.
They're bloodthirsty. Be careful.
Just
So is
you
Soul
just
Wrench
gotta-
jumping in the bouncy castle again?
Yep.
And I'm going to subtly cast Thaumaturgy and just create like a little flame that just appears at the back when he lands down on it.
And the gnome is like, "What is this?"
It's a death trap, is what it is. It caught fire from the sheer weight and compression of my friend
Yeah.
jumping on it.
It's fire retardant. I wouldn't worry about it. So, you guys leave the governor's mansion and head over to the train depot, and there's a decent crowd there. Mantro's band has already assembled onto the train. It has the train has two cargo. What's the word I want? Not coaches. What are they?
Cars.
There we go.
The
That's,
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
has two cargo cars, a passenger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, two passenger cars and the engine. So some of the band is in the first car, and some of the band is in the second car, in the back. And there's a red carpet out for you guys to board the first cargo car.
We're boarding on the cargo.
I'm sorry, passenger car.
Okay. I was about to say that guy was
How far
really
is the,
disappointed when we came to that lunch.
How far are the cargo cars from the passenger car?
There's the engine car and two passenger cars and two cargo cars.
I'm gonna walk back to the cargo cars and check on Fellerov first, and then walk forward from there.
Yeah, it looks like these are kind of accommodated for mounts or animals, or I mean, they look like they're in pretty good. They're set up pretty good.
All right. So yeah, I'll pet Fellerov for a minute or two, and then walk forward from there. So I'm gonna walk through the second passenger car and sort of scope the scene out.
Yeah, there's a couple train personnel, gnomes, wearing like red. They have like red suits on with some white and a big K on them for Kornberg. And there's looks to be about half a Mantro's band in there.
Nobody else other than the costumed Kornberg people and the band?
No.
Okay. All right, then I'll walk up to the front car.
Okay. Mantro is in there. There's a nice little seating area that he has set up, and he has an extra seat that he has left open. He is sitting by himself, and then behind him, these are kind of like bench seats, except for the first couple seats, which are kind of like they have like a table and a chair. So he's left a seat next to him open with he's sitting at a table. And then slowly, as the benches go back, there's more of his band, like 1 or 2 or 3 people, and they didn't all pack in like one row. They're all kind of scattered as you go backwards. And there's a few of the train personnel in there too, doing the same thing. It looks like they're taking drink orders or doing something.
I'll take the seat next to him.
Okay, which he expects.
Right.
You beat me to it. I was about ready to say I was going to sit there.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna.
So what's the rest of you guys gonna do?
So there's no
I'm going to
other-
sit on one of the benches.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
no other tables.
No.
None that we can screech over near us.
We could throw the band members into the car behind us and use a bench as a table.
I'm just gonna go over next to them and stand awkwardly in the aisle.
Yeah, one of the band members looks at you and he shuffles further down the bench, closer to away from you.
From under my drapes, a spark of green fire comes out as I look at him.
And he scoots more. In fact, the person behind him scoots away too. So you guys all take a seat. They're kind of rounding everybody up. You notice that you do not see the governor.
Was he supposed to come?
Well, I mean, he's fairly important. It just doesn't look like he's coming or anybody else. It's basically just you guys. And Mantro says that we should be going at max speed, so this trip should only take maybe 2 hours.
Can I look around and make sure that there aren't any donuts?
Yeah, there are no donuts. You also notice that when you're in the train yard, the train does not have. It's not loud. It's very quiet. It doesn't have big plumes of black smoke or anything like that. It's kind of strange. Most of the trains that you guys have seen would be coal-fired, but this is not obviously a coal-fired train.
One of those fancy magnetic ones?
Could be. So the train, they blow the whistle and they start moving out. And Mantro says, looks to you, Theria, and says, "Is there anything else you guys need? Did you find the accommodations okay?"
This is great. This is amazing. Thank you for allowing us to travel in style.
And he says, "So tell me, what is making you go to the Northern Lands? I am very interested. Maybe I could be of assistance."
Have you been to Tugnath?
During the war, I never entered the city, but we were around the city. We fought some battles that were near there, but I never entered Tugnath proper.
What do you know of the town?
What do I know of Tugnath?
Yeah.
It's at least what I have been told. It's very dangerous. They claim to accept outsiders, but they're very suspicious, and they will. You'll be followed the whole time.
What race of people live in Tugnath?
Well, primarily Gith.
Okay.
When the Gith War ended and the peace treaty was signed, then there was a Gith civil war, and when the civil war ended, the Gith were very divided. And what I've been told is that the loyalists who are loyal to the council on the astral plane said that they would not supply any more troops or men to Tugnath, basically, that they were just going to use it as an outpost and not a source for a growing force for an invasion, which they tried to do before.
Do you have any contacts in the town?
I had many contacts, but not in Tugnath.
Okay. There's something we need to retrieve from there with some secrecy. So if there's any advantage you can give us to that, or anybody that you think might be able to assist us with that, that would be helpful.
Well, I will certainly be thinking about that. And when we get to Capital City, I don't know if I will run into anybody I know from the war who else is going to be at this ceremony, but I will speak to them.
Can I do an insight check to see if he's deliberately deceiving me or withholding anything?
Yeah.
13?
Yeah, he's not deceiving you. If anything, he probably never got really that close to Tugnath at all.
So he's trying to talk himself up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I plan on just telling him some heroic versions of our history as we walk. I mean, as the train goes.
I'm gonna be planning a game on this train ride to see how many of their alcoholic beverages I can consume before we make it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and make a pile.
Wade Boggs record.
Yeah. I think I could do it.
Okay. So you guys, it's a fairly quick ride. At times, you can feel the train shake and move like a steady wind is pushing it. You go through pelting rain and hail. At one point, when you guys look out the window, you see a big plume of fire come out, like on the side somewhere in the distance. And you finally arrive at Cavill City.
Did that fire come out from the abyss?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
What does Cavill City look like from the windows?
It looks like an average town, I would say. There is a large kind of tower in the middle, and that is the Watchtower Inn, which is an inn and part of a memorial. There's people milling about. There is a small crowd there. I would say about 20 people waiting for the train to arrive. It's mixed. I would say mixed racially, not just gnomes. A few of the guards come over to the train, and the door opens, and they roll out the carpet again. And Mantro, of course, extends his hand to help you down the steps, Theria.
Thank you, kind sir.
You're most welcome. And there's a few people actually come up and want to shake Mantro's hand, and you notice that the band leader is out there and kind of steps right in their way to stop them. And then Mantro brushes them aside like, that's fine. And, they shake his hand. He signs a couple autographs.
My bodyguard instincts kick in, and I'm watching everybody.
And you guys walk up, start walking into the city, and you notice that there is a multicolored kind of walkway. and the walkway kind of like lights up, and it stands out from anything else in the city. And Mantro says, "This is." I think I gave this thing a name, didn't I?
The Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, the Rainbow Road.
Rainbow Bridge of Asgard.
Here we go. That's what I want. He said, "This is the Heartbreak Way, and this is a magical walkway that is a memorial to all the people who died. The fighting in the city was so bad at one point that they stacked the dead along this road, along this walkway, and that was kind of the dividing line between the two warring factions."
Someone told me there were fun rides around here. Where's that?
And one of the Mantro just kind of looks at you. He's giving this moment, talking in this moment of all the memorial of this walkway and all these people who have died, and just kind of looks at you. And one of the gnomes pipes up, is like, "You're talking about the labyrinth. They got cool rides there. Is that where you want to go?"
Sounds awesome.
Oh, it is. It's great. They sell tickets here.
You should consider building something like that here.
And then Mantro gives you a dirty look and says, "Don't give him any ideas."
It does seem a little bit brightly colored for a memorial for the fallen.
Well, it kind of like it looks to be enhanced with some kind of magic, like when you walk on it, it kind of glows and stuff. So he's leading you up. You know, you guys are just going down the walkway, and we've been informed that the governor will be here. He is taking an airship. The train left too early. He was sleeping. So when the airship arrives, then we will begin. Apparently he has some speech prepared. I don't know how long it is, but when he does that, that's when the ceremonies are supposed to begin about 5. So you guys have probably, and the governor is notoriously late, so you guys have about an hour and a half here.
Are there any gifts in town, or any gifts part of town?
Yeah, there is actually a district in the town called Deserterville, and this is where most of the Gith live, but there are a few milling around, just in general in the population. But if you want to go find them where they live, it's in this district.
City is Chinatown.
What do you guys think?
Well, wherever we can get the most information. We don't need
Whatever
to hang out.
Whatever furthers us on our quest.
Yeah, did we want to stick around for this festival?
And
I have no interest in the things of children.
Yeah, I was assuming that the festival would be a good way for us to slip out, but I figured we might want to speak to some of the Gith in town first.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you guys are just kind of talking, you notice some short individual in full gold-tinted plate mail is coming towards you riding a miniature horse. And he rides up and stops right at Mantro, jumps off, and he bows before Mantro. And Mantro says, "Welcome." He says, "Oh, it's good to see you again." And he takes off his helmet. You can see it's a kobold. And they exchange greetings, and they start talking like they're long-lost friends. And then he looks at your group. He's like, "Are these your friends? Who are these guys?"
We're just going.
"Pleased to meet you, sir. Pleased to meet you, dwarf." And he reaches his hand up.
it's probably like minuscule to me. So like grab his hand and like half his forearm and pick him up.
You realize it's kind of difficult to pick up because he is weighed down.
Yeah,
Just hold him tight.
yeah, but I'm like pretty badass.
Yeah, that's
So it's
true.
right there.
That's true.
Level 10
Yep.
Level 10 badass.
Yeah. I can make you roll a strength check if you want to pick him up.
All right. 16.
Yeah, you just barely managed to lift him off his feet.
Bye.
So
You're strong.
I turn to Mantro and I say, "Do you want to introduce us to him?"
Oh, yes, he is one of the paladins of pious spirit. I brought them here during the war. They helped secure Cavill City for us.
A war hero. Thank you for your service.
Oh, anytime. You have a fine horse. Or a Pegasus or something. It's got wings.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, we should pull our beasts out of the cargo, so I guess we've got them.
Yeah, I think they probably had
So-
people pulling this off for us.
So Soul Wrench is beginning to lose his patience, and he pulls down the hood of his drapes with the green fire spewing out of his mouth, and he's like, "You fleshy races take so long and speak in such strange tongues. We should be working on our quest. Now let's go! We have a mission that we must complete."
We also have rides that we're supposed to be riding at some point. And we're like,
Whatever it is, let's be done with it.
Yeah, I look back. Remember that bouncy castle? Imagine something even better.
There is a bit of a glint in Soul Wrench's eye as he remembers fondly the bouncy castle.
I pick up a stick from the ground, and I bend it quickly to snap it. And then I use mending to freeform it. And then I slowly bend it, and it doesn't break. And I do this right in front of Soul Wrench's face.
meanwhile, I asked the kobold, so you seem pretty familiar with Montrose here.
Yeah, we go back.
So does my friend Theria have something to be jealous about?
Jealous of what?
Like, how well do you know Montrose?
I pull an arrow out of my quiver.
And you break it in half.
No, this one gets
Well, see, Mantro came to Calico, and he said that needed our help in this war they were fighting, and there were Gith involved, and a lot of people were being hurt, so we came and helped. Is that what you mean?
So you're saying it's purely professional between the two of you?
Well, we haven't seen each other in a long time.
So anything could happen, you're saying?
So emotions are high, you could say.
Mantro just kind of looks at you and like this conversation and just shakes his head. Okay. We'll catch up later, friend.
Yeah, but how much later?
Okay, so what are you guys going to do now?
All right, Soul Wrench, let's leave the idiots here. I think we should head to Deserterville.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So I just grab a random person walking by and ask them which way to Deserterville.
Yeah, they point in the direction. It's not far. Probably about a 15-minute walk.
Is there a bar in Deserterville?
I would say so. Yes.
All right. And that's where we should go.
Okay.
To the bar.
Although, what to get drink? Did we run into one before who had something really disgusting for us to drink? Or was that not a gift?
Yeah.
No, it was
It was
a gift. The guy who's running the Pixie Rescue.
Yeah.
Okay. You head to Deserterville. They call it. Most of the buildings here are stone, wood construction. They seem to be in pretty good shape considering where they are. If there was a war here, 60 years ago, they've done a good job of cleaning up any of the damage or whatever.
How does Deserterville compare to the rest of town? Does it look similar? Does it look poorer?
I would say it probably looks a little bit poorer. There are some tents set up. Less physical structures. You guys enter there, and there is a bar with a broken wooden sign that says "Die, bitch, die."
Does what?
It says "Die, bitch, die."
Well, this is
Is
a
that like-
welcoming start.
Nailed in by somebody else, or is that the name of the place?
That is the name of the place.
All right, I like it.
Maybe it's German. Maybe it's the bitch, the.
Oh, Hrothgar walks in like he owns the place.
Okay, there's about 3 Gith in there, kind of sitting around and look at it. It smells like rotting fish heads in here. And they all kind of look at you. They don't say anything.
Let's go up to the bar. And I just take a look at what they have.
We got swill.
One more of this crap.
Got anything finer than swill? What's your finest swill?
Well,
We got one version. Swill. We got swill light, and I'll spit in it for you.
Delightful. You have to pay extra for that?
No, it's free.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll try anything once.
You want the swill light or the full force?
Give me the full force.
Okay. So yeah, he pulls out a dirty tankard and puts it on the bar and pours some called swill into this cup. It's got kind of a nasty odor to it.
I'll take a
swig.
Yeah, I'll take a swill light, like extra frothy.
Frothy. It's probably as warm as fresh milk.
Like, like a head like a cappuccino if you can spit one up.
You must be the funny guy.
I like to think I am.
Okay, so he gives you a swill.
I'll take a swig.
Okay. It is the nastiest shit you have ever tasted in your life. I mean, go ahead and roll con save, which you're awesome at, so it ain't gonna matter.
Hey, I could roll on.
Oh god! If he rolls a 1,
That's a 21.
Yeah. You know that pretty much anybody else without your fortitude, intestinal fortitude, they would be in trouble. It would either come out one end or out the other.
I'll look at Sully. You may want to reconsider. And I take another swig.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's the nastiest stuff you ever had in your life. It's like, why would anybody drink this?
I'm not rude. I'll finish it, and then I'll go to my own tankard.
He's like, so what'd you think?
Yeah, I've had worse.
Really? Our standards are slipping.
Yeah. Should really work on that.
So obviously you're not from here. What the hell you want?
I forget.
We're looking for information
What he said.
about Tugna.
What do you want to know about it?
Well, we need to travel there. We're looking for something. So I want to understand a little bit about the people there.
It's a shithole, and they're a gith.
I've heard that it may be built on top of the ruins of something else. Do you know if there's any truth to that?
Ruins.
Or perhaps catacombs or vaults of some sort underneath the city?
So he yells over to one of the guys in the bar. He yells over, "Hey, Barsk!" And the gith turns around, and you can see that he's wearing like a vest shirt, and some of his ribs are made of gold. And he is missing like half of his hand, and he's got some real gnarly scars on his face. And he starts walking over. He's like, "What do they want?" And he said, "Well, they're asking about Tugnath, something about catacombs." He's like, "Who's asking?"
That'd be me.
"And who might you be?"
I'm the one who's buying you a drink. And I put a gold down on the table, and the bartender's in the bar and asking to pour him a swirl.
And he's like, "Okay." And he kind of looks at the gold piece and just kind of like, and flings it into the corner. He's like, "I don't know what I'm going to do with that."
What do they use for money?
Gither don't usually use anything for money. They don't buy shit.
Oh. Okay.
So
They barter, or
yeah, they just don't. They're not really allowed to have stuff, so they don't even bother.
Is this because of the
Rations.
post-war, or?
Their culture.
Oh, okay.
He says, "Yeah, there's some catacombs and some kind of forge. There was a forge under the city. Is that what you're looking for?"
Yeah. Do you know how we might be able to get into there?
Well, you need to talk to somebody who can get you into the War Spire, because there's a passageway in the War Spire that leads down to that forge.
What's the War Spire?
There's 3 spires in Tugnath. One of them's the War Spire. The biggest damn things in the city.
Is it like a monument, or is it like an actively used building?
No, it's still actively used. All the damn slug robes are in there.
What's a slug?
I may be new to this. Yeah, I was going to say I may be new to this realm, but I hadn't heard that word before.
Oh, they're bureaucrats. They're in those books all the time. Making rules. Not good enough to be fighters or soldiers in the army.
So the way that this guy looks, is this like the way a normal Gith looks, or does he look pretty beaten up even for a Gith?
He looks a little bit worse than the Gith you have seen. Yeah, not like surprisingly, like shockingly bad, but looks like he's a little bit more worn than others. Is that it?
Yeah, thank you for the information.
I got some important sitting to do.
Do you still fight?
Do I still fight? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm looking to get a little sparring on.
What the hell are you talking about,
I've
dwarf?
been sitting on a train for too long. I need to hit something.
You need to
Soul
hit
Wrench
something.
Soul Wrench puts his hand on Rothgar's shoulder and says, "Easy, friend. It's clear that this one is well past its prime."
Yeah, I guess you're
All
right.
Give me a wisdom save, Rothgar.
All right. Come on, I hope I roll really high again. Yeah, it did. All right. 18.
Okay. You sense a presence in your mind, but you can't make out anything, and it goes away. He just kind of stares at you and is like, "Bleh," and walks off.
Soul Wrench looks back at Rothgar and says, "See?
Yep. Shall we? Where are we going now?
Well, so we ultimately need to go to Tugnap to find our way into that forge, but Labyrinth and Festering Hole both are ahead of us. Or we can go on the rides for Soul.
Seems like Festering Hole is off to the side. And then, I guess, does this train keep going to Labyrinth?
There is a separate train that goes to the Labyrinth, yes.
And do we know what Festering Hole is?
It is a town.
It's a big Festering Hole.
I mean, we might as well go to Labyrinth and go on all the rides because the train goes there and it's on the way to Tugnap.
Totally.
I'm very curious what's in Festering Hole.
I mean,
But
if this bar is
I'm
any
happy-
indication, it's probably just a Gith town that has nothing special about it.
Right. Well, it certainly doesn't have any fun rides. So, what is Labyrinth?
Who are you asking?
Oh yeah, I guess I'd have to find somebody. All right, so let's leave Deserterville and go back to the human part of town.
Okay.
Is there a like a ticket window for the train?
Which one?
The one to Labyrinth?
Yes, there is. Yeah, there's a big sign, and it says "Train to the Labyrinth," and there's a ticketing window, and a big picture of like a Ferris wheel.
So I asked the ticket person. We need to head north, and we were hoping to hop the train to Labyrinth. But can you tell me what is Labyrinth?
What is the Labyrinth? Why, it's a wonderful amusement park that has been built by gnomes.
Oh,
Who habits the place?
What do you mean? Gnomes do.
Only gnomes, mostly gnomes.
Yeah, gnomes run it.
So it's not like a proper town. It is an amusement park.
Well, of course.
And what is Festering Hole?
That's a nasty town that you don't want to go to. There's some Gith that still live there. I think they're part of the deserters. I don't know. We don't advise it. We don't advise people going there. I don't sell tickets to there.
Why is it on the map?
End in Labyrinth?
What?
Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
I was asking why it's on the map then.
Because the
What
best
maps?
scores goes there.
Yeah. This is so you pull out your little flyer. He's like, yeah, we don't have anything to do with this group.
Does the train end in Labyrinth, or does it keep going?
They talked about building a train to Argonath, but that never happened.
What's an Argonaut?
Oh, it's a decent city.
It's a human city.
I mean, I wouldn't disparage it like that. I mean, it's got some humans in it, but there's gnomes
It's
and
not a gift city, is my point.
oh no, there's not a whole lot of gift there. No.
Okay. It might make sense for us to go to Argonath first before we go to Tamnath. I'm sure we'll be able to find somebody there who might know more information. Unless you guys just want to head straight there.
Yeah.
Whatever gets us to accomplish our mission quicker.
I think we're pretty good at just winging it.
All right. Then,
Plus, there's no special urgency to this mission of ours. When we get to it, we get to it.
Yeah. We'll go
like
check
it.
out this labyrinth place.
Solridge kind of glares at Sully at those as he says that.
Keep your flames in your head, Metal Man.
wait, do we have an ant for the lunch or no?
Yeah, you guys have
Like 3 ants.
have 4.
Can he ride it?
I don't know.
Is this like bouncy castle and he's going to break our ant?
A soul wrench ride an ant? I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you've got Lunch's aunt, and you've got Floyd's aunt.
Right.
Well, I'm assuming Lunches is with him wherever he is.
Okay, yeah, we could.
Where is lunch? Says Sully, suddenly turning around looking for him.
He got on the spinning ship and went to Hijito.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say his aunt went with him. So you guys got 3 aunts.
Okay, so 7 tickets to Labyrinth, please. 3 for, 8. 4 for our beasts and 4 for us.
Oh, okay. That will be 8 gold pieces.
All right.
I don't know. It's kind of expensive.
You guys want to just walk there? I'm happy to do that too. I'm sick of riding on trains, to be honest with you.
How far away is Labyrinth? I'll ask the gnome ticket seller.
It's about 70 miles.
We should probably take the train.
I mean, I'm fine walking either way, but it's going to take us a couple days if we walk.
All right, let's take the train.
I was just trying to haggle the price down.
Oh.
It just seemed a very arbitrary price.
Kind of like he was just making it up on the spot. Is that what you're saying?
I can't tell when you're being sarcastic or straight with me. Trust me.
It's that dwarf into elven translation's not working out.
Yes.
Just wait until we find out Labyrinth is only like 5 miles away. Because he was afraid we'd argue the price down.
So, yeah, you guys are there. It is past 5 o'clock. The ceremonies have not started.
Train to Labyrinth.
The next train to the Labyrinth leaves at 7 o'clock.
Ugh.
We could start a fight at the ceremony.
What better place?
All right, let's go watch the ceremony.
Make it an anniversary to remember.
Yeah, the 75th anniversary is the blood anniversary.
Let's take a 5-minute break right there. How's that?
Okay.
All right.
You know, if we make our way to Tugnath through Humir, then we can do the scavenger hunts too.
Let's go the really long route.
Well, we do have to go to the City of the Dead, so we can stop there on the way.
Wait, where's Humir?
Northeast.
Oh,
of-
there it is.
The Kolai River? Is that what that is?
Well, maybe we can find a teleportation ring between Labyrinth and Humir, and then take the Kalai River down to Tugnath.
But then we'd miss Gorgonhorn Eternal. We have no idea what that could even be. Could be awesome.
All right, so you guys head over to the ceremony. There's a decent crowd kind of around like a stage, and they've got it kind of roped off, and Mantro's band is there. But they're waiting on the governor, and he has not arrived yet. As you guys are just kind of just hanging out in the crowd, you hear a voice, and somebody is whispering. It's like, "Hey, you!"
Who are they talking to?
I don't know a you.
Solwrench hears that, and he immediately unleashes his sword and looks around.
Okay, when you turn around, you see kind of like down a short little alley between a couple buildings. There's a figure standing there, and it's wearing like a cloak with like a hat, but its arms are kind of like dangling loose, and his legs are kind of dangling loose, like barely touching the ground.
Like a flump?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a flying spaghetti monster.
Oh, okay. And it's like his voice says, "Yeah, you guys, come here." And he swings his whole body, and his arm flings up in the air. He's like, "Come here."
Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm not sure what I'm saying, honestly.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go check it out. Shit.
Does it look humanoid, or does it look like Shadow Demon threw an overcoat on?
Right.
No, it doesn't look like a shadow demon threw an overcoat on.
Just a chain demon, then.
Yeah, and as you get close, you can see that its arms are just bare. It's like basically wearing like a costume, and its arms are just kind of dangling, and his legs are kind of dangling. And as you get closer, it gets closer to you guys, and it's like, "Hey, this is Hellion."
Oh. This is what, like a fake body?
I'm in disguise.
You're doing great.
Good.
So Solwrench retracts his blade and is like, "What news have you from Asmodeus?"
Well, in order for me to approach Asmodeus, he must bring him an offering first.
And what does Asmodeus expect?
If you go east into the Demon Wastelands, there's a spy that has been captured, and if you release him, that would bring much gratitude for Asmodeus, and it would give me a chance to speak with him.
I'm not familiar with this realm, so where might these demon wastelands be in relation to where we are now?
They are just north of here.
And how far?
I don't know. The spy has been captured by some traveling Rakshasa.
Well, I think I owe one of those guys a boot in the ass.
They are a band of gypsies. And I hate gypsies.
So, why is this spy important?
He is important to Asmodeus. He has valuable information.
I mean, I'm certainly happy to go kill somebody.
Soul Wrench turns to Theria and says, the ways of the demon lords do not make sense always. Sometimes their whims are strictly to test you. Other times there's a value that we could never know.
Okay, what's the spy's name?
Ghoulich.
And these traveling Rakshasa, where are they traveling from?
They travel the Demon Wastelands.
Have they always been there?
Yes. They're the ones who occupied the labyrinth.
Wait, say that again?
They're the ones who used to occupy the labyrinth.
Used to.
Before it became an amusement park?
Yes.
So what race is Ghoulich so that we recognize him?
He is a fiendish elf.
Oh, cool. So Fiend is my greater enemy. So I should be able to track this dude.
Sounds like there's going to be a bunch of them. Are there any distinguishing features so that we know specifically who we're looking for? You know, when we find this person, we know it's them.
They have a tattoo of the Demon Lord on their left shoulder.
Alrighty. Okay. Is this something we want to do?
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. If you guys are.
It seems to be on our way anyways. And Asmodeus, although Mercurial would be a good ally to have in this fight.
Sully, you in?
Yeah, it sounds as good as anything.
All right, let's head
Can
north.
you be more Matt personified?
I think we know we're going to get there, and there's going to be some other complication we have to deal with. Never quite as easy as the flaming skull in disguise tells you it's going to be.
The flaming skull with the floppy Muppet arms.
I just advise if there is any sort of magical protection you can put on me, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm just going to be assaulting you guys again, probably.
I mean, there probably is. Since we know what we're getting into,
Yeah.
I can at least give you like advantage on wisdom saves, I think. Yeah, if I cast Beacon of Hope, you'll get it. I mean, everybody within a certain range of me, 30 feet, will get advantage on Wisdom saves.
How long does that last?
A minute.
Oh, right. So you're going to cast that in battle.
Is that a concentration?
Yes.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll be drawing all the ire.
But last time we fought a Rakshasa, I got the impression he was immune to all my spells anyway, so I might as well cast the spells that affect you guys.
Indeed. And then just start punching him. Do what you gotta do, man.
All right, let's head north.
We gotta wait a couple of hours for this damn train.
Peter, would I have ever encountered Rakshasas in the Nine Hells?
Yeah, maybe once or twice you would have seen them in battle. They were probably like a lieutenant or an assistant to a general.
Would I know anything particular about their strengths or weaknesses?
Wow, I turned right to the page. I get one little point star for that.
It's a sign. I know it all.
You do.
Everybody gets a level.
Everybody gets a level.
You get a level, and you get a level.
Take your damn level. I mean, you would know that they're immune to certain magical abilities.
What about fire? Do I know if they have any particular immunity to fire?
No, they're not immune to fire.
Excellent.
Excellent. All right, so can I try to track this Ghoulish?
I mean, yeah, is it closer to Labyrinth or closer to where we are now?
Okay, so you guys are in Cavil City. You have tickets to the Labyrinth, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. He said that they were a traveling caravan in the Demon Wastelands. The Wastelands go from the South Shore Mountains, the east of there, all the way across, past Raccoon Drawl and Gorgon Eternal, all the way to the east. They travel that whole area.
That's fucking enormous.
Correct.
Is Hellion still there?
Yeah, of course he is.
You'd have to be a little bit more specific.
Hellion, do you have any particular way to track this spy that you seek?
No, they're just a traveling caravan. They're known to go out through the Demon Wastelands and attack adventurers. I've heard they raid the train also.
Yeah. Seems like if we just take the
Alright.
train to
So
Labyrinth.
maybe we take the train north to Labyrinth, and then if we don't run into them, then we can go to the east from there.
Yeah, just start walking.
But also, if they raid the train, they raid it for a purpose. Hellion, do you know what purpose they raid the train for?
Probably for the souls that are on board.
Do they favor any particular kind of souls? The innocent, the damned?
Usually the easily manipulated and the half drunk.
And the what?
Half drunk.
Who's drunk?
Rothgar, with your tankard, and if we were to bring Theria's friend, that might be enough to attract these bandits to us.
Wait, who's my friend?
Whose friend? Yeah, who's the friend?
Your would-be
Your
Your
potential mate.
suitor.
Oh,
He seemed easily manipulated.
I thought you were talking about the newspaper guy.
Yeah, we left him.
Well, he is too far away to bring to this.
All right. We can stick around through the ceremony, and I can try to convince him to come with us.
Perhaps we could also bring the governor. After he arrives.
I can't imagine the governor's going to want to come with us. I'm not even sure Mantro's going to want to, but I can at least try to convince him.
Yeah. He's the only one we have a chance of convincing, I think.
Theory, I'm sure your charms are more than enough and more than capable.
All right.
I think he's suggesting that you suggest you'll put out.
I'm not even sure Soul Wrench would know what that is.
No, Sully's just filling in the blanks for him.
Oh boy.
All right, so we'll take Hellions' mission. I think we're gonna wait to watch the ceremony, and then we're gonna approach Mantro and see if we can get him to come with us.
Okay. So Hellion appreciates that, and he drifts down another alley and out of sight. You guys wait there probably another 20 minutes, and a large roar comes over in the air, and it's an airship. And it lands, doesn't even land like, there's like an airship pad that you saw when you first came in. Doesn't even land there. It lands like in a vacant spot. The hatch opens where the airship driver would be, and it's a gnome. He jumps out. He's just wearing a Speedo. And he jumps out. And he takes a towel and he starts wiping off because he's sweating. And the door, the hatch, not the hatch, the cargo compartment opens up. And stepping out is the gnomish mayor. And right behind him is an elf that looks a lot like Danville. So they come down the steps, and the crowd parts, and the mayor and the governor is walking, and there's some clapping, and he proceeds to go right up to the stage, and he says, "Welcome to the 75th anniversary. Thank you for coming." And he walks off the stage.
Woo! Nice speech.
Anyone else disappointed that the Cubs are winning?
A little bit, yeah.